This guy made a fortune for himself the moment his boss saw him with his heavy chest and muscles. Aside from the fact that the boss couldn't stop gazing at this poor guy, she saw something about him that she couldn't resist. So she whispered to her manager's ears that got Boma scared again. Boma was scared because the last time his boss came to the office, he mistakenly poured water on her. Boma knew he had lost the only job he had as a cleaner, that he was managing to survive, but his boss still fired him. Boma had to go job hunting, but everywhere he goes to, there was no vacancy. Boma saw that the street was not funny, so he went back to beg his boss to help him get his cleaning job again, and his boss reconsidered him and gave him back his job. So he was scared that he had lost his job again. He tried to explain to his boss, Venita, that the staff room was under renovation, so he tried to change his clothes before he was caught, but Boma never knew that Venita was thinking something different. A few minutes later, Venita wanted to see for herself if she made the right decision when Boma came out in grand style with one of her model's outfits. She liked what she saw, so she asked him if he would like to be one of her models, and Boma accepted without thinking twice. And in a twinkle of an eye, Boma, who was once a cleaner, had just signed a good deal and was in business with Venita's fashion house. But ever since then, Venita couldn't stop thinking about this guy. As each and every day passed by, Venita couldn't wait to see this guy, just to touch him under the pretense of doing her job. So one day she invited him to her house to have dinner with him, but Boma told her that he has a girlfriend and he can't cheat on her. Venita was surprised because Boma is the first guy who has ever rejected her advances, and because of what he just did, Venita vowed to get this guy. Venita still didn't stop. She knows the only way she could make Boma see how truly she likes him is during shooting sessions, since Boma will have no choice. Although Boma was not comfortable with the last shooting session, Venita had to apologize because the photos she wanted were supposed to be for him and the female model, but unfortunately the female model cancelled, so she had to fill in the gap. Venita then asked him again to have dinner with her, but Boma's loyalty to his girlfriend was unquestionably, as he kept rejecting his gorgeous boss every man would love to have. Boma insisted that she stop the car because he was no longer comfortable with her request. Boma's principles were beginning to mess with Venita's head to the point that she literally thinks about Boma all day and night. She talks herself into feeling how special this guy has had a special place in her heart and dreams about him. Things got worse when Venita had to stalk Boma to find out what's so special about this his girlfriend that is making him reject a woman of her standard. So she did something that most women who knows their worth know how to do best. Venita started ignoring him like he never existed in official meetings and even privately. This kept going on for days, so Boma asked her if he had done something wrong. Venita had nothing to say, but rather she apologized for making advances to him. She then told him to focus on his relationship. It was at that point when Venita stopped chasing him that Boma realized that he also feels something for his boss. He then came to the office the next day to ask his boss to have lunch with him, and Venita was glad to accept his request. Boma followed her home after lunch, and they talked more to get to know each other better. Venita's sister actually owns the fashion house, but before her sister died, Venita promised to run her fashion house for her, so she left her accounting job to fulfill her late sister's wishes. One day, his uncle came into town with great news that oil was discovered in the family's land, so everyone will be rich as soon as the government approves it. This was the best news Boma had ever heard, but he never told his girlfriend because Gift is the kind of girl who loves money. So she kept pressuring him to make money because she can't wait to spend it. Aside from that, Gift's mother dislikes him because he's broke, and anytime he tried to give her the little he could afford when he was broke, Gift's mother ridiculed him and made him feel less of himself. Gift always apologized whenever her mother talks down on him, but deep inside her, the reason she was still with Boma is because she sees potential that Boma will make it one day. Meanwhile, Gift found out that Venita was interfering with her relationship ever since Boma signed that contract, so she came to warn her to stay off her man. Venita saw that Gift wasn't going to let this guy slip through her fingers with the way she was beginning to stalk him, so she told Boma that they are going to have video shots in Abuja. Boma declined her decisions at that very minute because he knows what can happen if they stay together. Boma then called Gift on the phone and told her about Venita's plans as a loyal boyfriend, and Gift frowned at it like she was going to confront Venita to lambast her with her evil intentions. But Venita was the one who met with Gift with an offer of 20 million naira to convince her man to go to Abuja with her. At first, Gift acted like a loyal girlfriend until she finally agreed when she saw the alert on her phone. Gift then had to convince Boma to go for the photo shots since it's going to be for the purpose of making money. Boma was surprised that Gift would suggest that he goes to Abuja for 2 weeks with Venita, but she insisted or she wouldn't be happy with him. So Boma met with his boss to tell her that he changed his mind. They got to Abuja and then had to lodge in a hotel, but Boma found out that they were both going to stay in a room. Boma was not happy with the arrangement, so he asked the receptionist to get another room for him. But unfortunately, the receptionist told him that there is a carnival going on in Abuja, so all the rooms were booked, including the neighboring hotels. Boma doesn't care, he still insists that he wants another room. He slept on the couch that night and had to lambast the manager for the poor arrangements before they arrived in Abuja, but there was nothing the manager could also do about it. At this point, Boma just had to accept sharing the same room with Venita, even though he was still not happy. Boma then had to go shower. He came out with his body again that got Venita distracted from her call until the manager came in to tell them that everything is set for the photo shoot. So he went back to the bathroom to put on his clothes while Venita couldn't stop looking at him. Boma finished changing and then had to call his girlfriend to know how she was doing. Gift told him that she is busy shopping with her family and then hurriedly ended the call. This was unusual of Gift that kept Boma in deep thoughts of her recent behaviors. Venita saw that Boma was not okay, so she asked what the problem was. Boma then told her that it was his girlfriend and her unusual recent behaviors. Venita understood what Boma was talking about, but she also did not tell him that she gave Gift 20 million naira just so they could have these moments together. But all she told Boma is to let his girlfriend have fun, while he should also try to catch some fun, because life is too short. Boma thought what Venita said was right, so he tried to free himself from worries. So Boma became free with his boss, but without any intentions of cheating on his girlfriend. They came back from another shooting session again. Venita felt super happy that Boma has become so comfortable around her, so she took her chances and kissed him. Boma never saw this coming and then left the room. Venita didn't know that she was beginning to get on his nerves with the things she does, but the closer she gets, the more he falls for her advances. This time they were having a meeting for the next photo session, but Boma was already lost in deep thoughts of what better ways he could just grab his boss and make her feel like a woman until he realized that his attention was needed at the meeting. So the manager had to leave after the meeting and Venita used the opportunity to apologize to him for what she did, but this time Boma wanted more of what happened, even though he never told her. He only asked her that he wants her to hang out with him and have fun. They came back that night after getting themselves drunk at the club. This was the perfect moment they have both waited for. So Boma told her that he has fallen deeply in love with her, even when he tried to avoid her until they heard the door. Boma went for it, and it was the receptionist who came to tell him that there is a vacant room now and if he was still interested. Boma told the receptionist that he was no longer interested, so she left. All he wants is to spend time with the woman he has fallen in love with, and he made love to her. It was 2 weeks and Boma was back home. Gift was aware that her man was back even though he didn't tell her. She tried to kiss him, but he resisted her. Boma complimented her new look as she displayed her expensive hair and outfit, but Boma was still inquisitive to know where she got the money she had been spending. Boma then stopped asking. He was not even interested any longer to hear what she had to say because he also has something to tell her. He then opened up to her that he has feelings for Venita and he wants them both to end the relationship. Gift felt really bad to have fallen for Venita's trap even though she never thought her man would dump her for his boss. She was still trying to recover herself from the heartbreak when her mother came in with the devastating news that Boma has made a lot of money from the oil that was discovered from their family land. So Gift made up her mind that even if she was going to go down, at least she must put up a fight. She threatened Venita to back down or she wouldn't like what will happen to her, but she never knew that Venita was already pregnant for Boma. Boma then thought that the least he can do now that he is rich is to compensate Gift with the sum of 50 million naira for staying with him when he had nothing. But Gift told him that she wants him and not his money. Boma then wanted to leave since she didn't want the money, but she stopped him and then told him that she will take the money since she has lost him. That was when Boma realized that she was with him hoping that he would make it so that she could leech on him. But Gift told him not to judge her because Venita is also not a saint. Gift then escalated the reason why she allowed him to go with Venita to Abuja in the first place by showing him the credit alert from Venita when he doubted her. Boma was really disappointed with Venita's level of desperation and obsession towards him, and with the idea that she can buy anything she wants with her money makes him feel disrespected. Venita realized she messed up. She then apologized and tried to let him know that she loves him, so that was why she had to do anything to get him. Boma doesn't care about her explanations. He then told her that he doesn't want to set his eyes on her again. Her manager heard everything after Boma had left. She asked Venita why she didn't let him know that she's pregnant, but Venita feels that it wasn't right to tie a man down with pregnancy. And the fact that she will be left lonely after she lost her sister and now the man she fell in love with, she wants the child to keep her company. It was months and Venita still never told the father of her child, so the manager had to tell Boma herself and then apologize to her boss for what she did when Boma came back. Boma was surprised and at the same time happy that he was welcoming a child. He understood Venita when she explained to him that she never wanted to tie him down with the child. So Boma promised her never to leave her again, and they were going to name their baby girl after her late sister. So guys, what are your thoughts about the movie I Want Your Man? Please comment below and don't forget to subscribe.